Hey everyone, this is Doug Kenney here. Tonight we are with my coach and mentor, actor Andy McPhee, and we welcome you to the next episode of Tales from the Mat. And our guest is Nikki. Hey Nikki, how you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
G'day,
Doing
Nick.
great.
How you doing, mate?
Good, Andy. How are you?
Yeah, good. Long time no see. Hey.
I know it's been forever.
Yes, it has. Just letting everybody know that Doug is in Arizona. I'm in LA, and Nikki, you're in New South Wales?
Yep, in Wollongong.
Okay, Wollongong. And so it's actually 1:40 a.m. in LA and Arizona, because Nikki's was only available at this time. So we're all up past our bedtime. Oh, what fun is that?
That's fun.
It is
Sure
fun,
is.
yeah.
Well, look, just introducing Nikki. I myself, for those people new to the interviews, I was a professional wrestler among many other jobs I did in my time, but I was pro wrestling for quite some time, and pro wrestling actually led me to my acting career. I did a commercial in Adelaide over 30 years ago for a Hungry Jack's commercial as that sort of character you see behind me, Mad Max Miller. And I thought that was a lot of fun. And then I asked someone, how do you do more of this? And 30 years later, still doing it. And two of my children got them into acting, one when she was 2 and my son when he was about 7. And they've had an amazing, amazing career. And if it wasn't for wrestling, they would never have had that opportunity. Neither would I. And Cody's current movie, The Power of the Dog, is getting huge accolades at all the film festivals. And they've even suggested that Benedict Cumberbatch may possibly be nominated for Best Actor, and Cody may be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. So thank you to all the bumps and grinds I took in pro wrestling, which led me to my acting career. So now over to you, Nikki. We met many years ago actually on a film set, correct?
Yep, that's right. We did. We met on the set of Dumb Criminals originally.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Paulie Phoenix. A lot of them, people overseas won't know the show, but it's quite an out there comedy show based around Australian, culture and a bit of humour and a lot of different ethnicities in the show. Paulie's very clever. I met you, and I also met Sean Anthony Robinson there as well, and Sean's doing pretty well for himself now. And Nikki, I think we actually, was it 2 years ago, we were on a bit of an indie film in Melbourne, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Steve Ravich's Hotel Underground.
That's right. Yeah. And that was, it's funny about that because I just went the other night to a film about wrestling, and it was the Manson Brothers. Now, it'll probably be streamed. It might get on one of the streaming platforms, but the Manson Brothers were a couple of guys who wrestled under that name here in America many years ago. And so they decided to tell their story, and I went and saw it because one of my neighbours, an actor friend, was in it. It was a hilarious film. It's a zombie film, but it's so funny. But it's all based around wrestling. Like, it's all based around the indie circuit, the crappy dressing rooms you're in sometimes, what you got to put up with, before you actually go out and wrestle. Randy Couture was in it, and another big MMA fighter was in it. So it was really fun. So that's it was very similar to the film you and me were on called Hotel Underground, which was based around wrestling. We had James Storm from Nashville. He flew out to Australia for that, which was great meeting James. He's quite a big name in wrestling here. So wrestling opens up a lot of doors. And Nikki, can you just share with us, first of all, what was your interest in wrestling? How'd you get into it?
Originally, when I was 5 years old, it was my old man, like my dad, he got me into wrestling, but my nan got my dad into wrestling. And she used to take him to like the PCYC down here when it used to be WCW, when the internationals would come over and the Australians versus the internationals. And then I fell in love with the Ultimate Warrior. And I always wanted to be an Ultimate Warrior. And I said to my dad when I was a kid, one day I'll be the Ultimate Warrior. And he's like, oh no. So cut a long story short, I was 15 years old, and it was the school holidays, and I lived in Wollongong, and my dad lived up in Sydney, and he took me to one of the school holiday shows, and back then it was called ACW, Australian Championship Wrestling, by the name of like Andy Harpus, like Animal Harpus, and you had Mario Milano, and you had like all of like the old greats and Mad Dog. And it wasn't the high fly stuff that got me. It was the main event, which was a coffin match on fire. And I said to my dad, I can do that. And then he said, oh, prove it. So the Tuesday I went to the training and I never looked back. And it's been 22 years now.
That is really cool. A 22-year wrestling career. That's really incredible.
Yeah.
So, just wondering, do you have any funny memories of being on the mat, like injuries or even funny moments?
Yep. I don't know if I can tell a lot of them, but I did an LCW tour in Canada. When was it? 2013. And I did the tour with Roddy Piper, Scott Steiner, and Rhino. And on the 13-day tour, Rhino, because he used to be in the army over there, like he was like a drill sergeant, he used to scream at us in the morning because we'd get up and we wouldn't make our bed, and say to him, what's the point, like you've got the cleaners making the bed. And he's like, how would you like it if somebody walked into your room, slept in your bed and didn't make your bed? So ever since then I've been making my bed every time I get up in the morning. And Piper, he was actually a real classic, like on the tour as well. He told me a lot of funny stories that I probably can't repeat, but yeah, one of them was pretty. I was pretty shocked, like, so to speak. I can't say. I have to tell you later on, but yeah, like that was probably like my most classic moments overseas. And when I was at the first time I came over to Canada and Newfoundland, I was booked to be a heel. And over here, I'm a heel. So, like my entrance is Ramstein Firefly, and I come out like introduced as the psychotic psychic from hell because I'm indestructible, and you just don't know what's going to happen with Nikki Nitro. So the first show I did, I made 4 kids cry, and I remember after the show, like I was pulled backstage and they said, listen, we're going to have to turn your face. And I'm like, why? And they go, well, because you're not allowed to make kids cry here. And I'm like, well, what's the point? I'm a heel. Like you're supposed to make kids cry. And they go, oh, no, you have to be careful because you can be shot. And I'm like, okay then. So I ended up being a face for majority of the tour, but I had this one spot in the match, never forget it. God, it was so embarrassing.
Wow. And so that was in the States, yeah?
That was in Canada, that one.
Yeah,
and
wow. Isn't that funny? Like that's the idea of the heel. Like that's what I was all the time, a heel. And it's to sort of upset people, but it's amazing. Like you just said, you made kids cry, even though people, like we had a discussion the other night. I don't like the word fake. People go, oh, pro wrestling's fake. It's not fake at all. It's just not 100%, because those guys in the ring, a lot of them are highly trained. They can wrestle. They can do holds. But if you're in there, you might as well be doing boxing or full-on wrestling if that's what you want. But it's an entertainment. It's like a circus. It's like going to a circus watching entertainment and highly skilled people. The wrestlers, and I don't say I was more of a heel, just yelling loud. I took a lot of bumps and I could do falls, but I wasn't a high flyer. I couldn't do anything spectacular. I could do what I could do. But, you know, a lot of the guys in there are highly skilled, and, you know, how could you possibly wrestle every night if you were trying to kill each other? So, yes, you do get hit. Yes, you do get hurt, and it's 50%, not 100%. That's it. There's nothing fake about it. Like, you are getting slammed into the mat and you're taking bumps, you know?